It's FIVB World League Final Four time. The hosts, Portugal, are up against the Netherlands, live from Matosinhos. Good evening and welcome to the beautiful Porto with me, Louis Letts. Well, we have a fixture on our hands here. The hosts, Portugal, some have called them experimental, some have called them out of form. But they're here in the Final Four as hosts, and they are up against a very competitive, young, hard-working team from the Netherlands. The local fans are making their way in to the arena, in which should be a spectacular game. Portugal have only won 2 from the last 13 games in the World League, and they've lost 7 in a row on home soil. But can the crowd give the players some inspiration to come back and cause what would be an upset here? The Netherlands, well, they qualified last weekend in Korea. Even though they lost to Korea, they booked their place as the 3rd highest qualifying side. And they are here to win. That is one message that is coming out of the Dutch camp, led by Guido Vermaelen. The libero there in your picture, Dronkers. Portugal, well, it hasn't been the year that they've wanted. As I said, some have said they've been experimental. They've always known that they've had this place in the Final Four because they've qualified as hosts. The question is at the big occasion, on the big occasion, can they stand up to be counted? They do have power. Alex and Joao on the outside, backed up with Hugo on the opposite. They do have strength and power. But the Netherlands, well, they beat Portugal 3-0 in the group stages. They will be led by their opposite, Walter Tiamat, who scored 19 points in their previous fixture. So look out for Tiamat, the number 16 on the opposite. This Dutch team looking to get back to the glory days of the 90s. A period of time which saw them dictate world volleyball. A silver in Barcelona, a gold in Atlanta. The 1997 European champions are young and they're hungry. A league that isn't as strong as it was in Holland against the Portuguese side that predominantly are made up of amateur players. I imagine that number 6, Alex, the captain, will definitely start as we have a look at the Netherlands first. Tiamat, number 16, is one to look out for. Defending back the middle. Van Gardenen should start, the wind spiker.
Welcome to the 2016 World League Group 2 final round in
Portugal. Marcel, Alex, Joao. 15, the setter, Miguel Rodriguez, should start. Number 17, the libero, Fidalgo. You can see how busy it is. You can see that the crowd will be behind this Portuguese side, but can they make a difference here this evening? Netherlands building under coach from Ireland over the past 2 years. They are here to make impact, they are here to win. Portugal are well and truly fired up in Porto, but after a run of poor form, are trying to find momentum. Hopefully the crowd will provide that for them here this evening. Portugal most probably starting with Dan van Haarlem setting, Tiamat opposite, Andrings and Raudelink on the outside. As we meet the referees, Nick Hetford and Wojciech Marszek. Defenbach and Colvin should make the lineup for Holland. The libero Sharperdans. There is the captain in your picture, number 6. Portugal should be starting with Marcel, Alex, Joao, Fabrizio, Hugo, Fidalogo and Miguel. It's Martin van Garderen that gets the start for Holland through 4. That means there's no place for Andrings this evening. Rauerdink also starting as a wing spiker. 16 Tiamat the opposite. We have a look at the Brazilian coach Francisco Santos. Worked alongside the famous Brazilian coach Bernardo for a long, long time. It's his second stint as Portugal coach, and he's trying to make an impact. As you can hear, the crowd getting behind their team. Marcel, the middleman, is the first out, followed by the captain, Alex. Fabrizio, Miguel. 16 is Hugo Gasper, and 18 is Andre Rice Lopez. The libero is number 7, Ivo Casas. So there's a few changes from the previous Portuguese side that played last week in this World League competition. Has been experimental from coach Santos, and whether the gamble pays off, we're about to see. Has the experiment, has all of this preparation paid off for Portugal? They have taken a beating in this World League, coming bottom of the group, winning 2 from 9. Holland, on the other hand, are growing in confidence and in belief. But has the head coach of Portugal, Santos, just been playing games? There's no chance of them being relegated, even though they came top of their group. Some deflections early on. Good defense from both sides as they're both fired up. Alex, the wing spiker, makes the first point for Portugal. Good starts and service pressure will be key for both sides. So we're almost in a packed house here in Porto. Speaking with the Dutch captain this morning, Jasper Defenbach, speaking about how young and inexperienced his side were, but how hard they've worked to get here and how confident they are in their ability. 3 in the block from Holland. The feeling that Alex on the outside for Portugal is going to have a long evening out there. He's going to get set a fair amount. Three in the pass for the Dutch. It's very tight. Oh! Everybody in the Portuguese block went to sleep. Smiles from Van Haarlem, because he knew exactly what happened. He went up to dummy the set, even though he knew it was an overpass. 3 Portuguese blockers left napping. Can't afford to do that at international level. Captain Finback with his first go at the back line. Again, the ball is fed to the outside, and the block of the Dutch at the moment is being tested. Tiamat, top scorer for this Dutch team. A little bit late on the block on that occasion. Passes off the net, so the ball goes to the outside. Physical stuff. Van Gardegen plays his volleyball in Italy. The Dutch league, not quite at the level it once was. Lots of players playing in varied amount of countries in professional leagues in Italy, Belgium, France. Alex again through the pipe. That's 3 sets for the Portuguese captain and 3 points for him early on. How much gas he has in the tank will be key for the Portuguese success this evening. Pass again to the front court receiver. Goes back out to Van Garderen. Well out of town, Portugal, so there's a chance for Holland. Oh, cover with the foot. Second chance this time through the 10. Some rally this is early on. Both teams setting the tone for what could be a quite incredible encounter. Fabrizio, high and fierce. Followed up by a high roll in the Portuguese opposite. We have had a fiery start to this one. Rauerdink. This time going through fast on the pipe, but he's slightly too early and firing that one well long. Portugal have had the start that everybody in this stadium wanted them to have. They've come out fierce, they've dug balls, and they've also sided out tremendously well. A little bit of a sneak attack from Van Haarlem. It's been a little bit scratchy early on from Holland. It's not about how you start. It's definitely about how you finish. Maguire's a little bit off the net, he finds the opposite. Hugo extremely well, and that's twice we've seen Hugo through the right side of court, once on the front, once on the back. Lots of communication from this Portuguese side early on. They really are gelling out here. You can see the libero, Casas, always talking, always organising the passing unit and the defensive strategy and really leading from the front. There's only 2 in the pass here for Portugal, half a court each for Casas. He tracks that well and gets the ball in, but not high enough for the setter, and this is all at sea, and really that's sloppy Rauwerdink puts his hand up and says, my bad. They managed to sneak the point anyway, Holland, because there's a net touch against Hugo, I think. It was Fabrizio following through and hitting the net. Holland are back to just one. We're only one away from the technical timeout. Inconsistency from both sides early on, but there's a lot of heart and a lot of fire and some big rallies to come, I'm sure. Well off the net, the defense is good again. Holland with a chance to draw level. Fabrizio too high off the forearms and the ball disappears out the side of court. Boos and hisses. The middleman, Thomas Corwin, can't prevent a side out from Portugal, who then go into the technical timeout in charge. Santos has not been happy till now, the Portuguese coach. It's all been on preparation, and it looks like the preparation may have paid off. Portugal have started full of confidence, full of heart. The communication between block and defense, the liberos led by example, and they'll be really happy. Holland, on the other hand, have just, again, they'll be happy with aspects. Their defense has been strong, a couple of sloppy errors in offense, but apart from that, screen has been effective through two, as the two middlemen take their chance to have a rest on the bench. Kolovin and the fine back, well, their contribution will be judged on how well other people do their jobs. Sometimes as a middle, it's very difficult to impact a game, to be able to be involved if the service receive isn't there, or possibly the setter isn't quite on top. But we're back to business. Andre is going to toss this high and really chew through this one. Fortunately, he does chew through it, but it can only go halfway up the net. Again, you can see the libero always organising. Hugo always in the middle of everything. Sorry, Casas is the one doing all the organising. It's Casas with the pass, and it is put on a 10-pence piece, which means the middleman, Fabrizio, takes the block. Hugo Gasper is left one-on-one on the opposite, and that is very, it's happy days, really. Not quite one-on-one, it's just a very late block from the femback. As soon as the pass gets in, everything else is made so much easier. The femback this time is in the game for the first time that we've seen the Dutch captain involved in the offense. Casas, unfortunately, you can see how frustrated he is with himself with the overpass. Easy for Holland, that. These blockers at the height that they're at do not need asking twice to put the ball away with an overpass. Again, Casas the libero is under all types of pressure. There's a couple of solid looks towards him, disappointment, heads down from his teammate, and look at that body language. Okay, he's looking also at the sweat, but also heads down. Does not look like a confident figure, Casas. He's the service target from the Dutch. Potentially once again, it looks like it's going to go his way. Yes, it is. It's fast and it's low, but the middle can get in the game, so it's good enough. Not quite playing at full height, Portugal, but Miguel does well to find his middleman. Struggling to track the ball in the pass early on it. Here, Casas. More overpassing, this time from Holland. Miguel does have the ball completely in system here, and Alex does the rest. Again, the captain standing up and leading. Really summoning this Dutch team early on. Santos, typical Brazilian, heart on his sleeve. Casas makes up for his passing with an outrageous dig. Chance for Portugal to score again, but there's two in the block from Holland. Second chance for Portugal, go to the opposite, and Hugo, this time Hugo scores. Casas, the libero, is a delight to watch. So fired up for this game. He's sitting quite inside the sideline, stays still to make the dig, and then Hugo goes off the outside hand. Out of system, and there's some evil eyes through the net here. Van Gardingen looking for the touch off of the block. There is no touch. It means that Portugal score. Timeout called from the Netherlands. They go off the fingertips. No joy for Van Gardingen. This has been a very fast-paced start. Hugo and Alex scoring for Portugal, and really stamping their authority early on. Casas, the libero, as we said, a very, very animated libero. More relaxed personality from the Dutch captain, Jasper Deffenbach. Hopefully, the game stays at this pace with this excitement. The game has started at 100 miles an hour, both teams playing defense very well. It's a fast and low pass. Van Gardingen, the decision has been given against him. The first and second referee here are disagreeing on something. First referee, Nick Heckford, reverses his decision. The ball was wide of the sideline, but potentially a net touch called. It's very difficult to see. Santos again being very loud on the touchline. Miguel pulls in a good place. Wow. Marcel has just almost bounced the roof off in here. Can't play defense to a ball going that hard and that steep. No middle, off the net, Holland. Doesn't matter. Tiamat, the top scorer in this World League for Holland, cruises through and breezes off the block. Marcel drifting, not quite closing, potentially a little bit late in that final position. Hisses and boos again for the Dutch in here. Another error, which is just another error from the Dutch, and they have to be careful to keep control of their errors here. They're a little bit out of tune with serving and spiking at the moment. Middle is good. It's a good set from Dan van Haarlem. Orchestrating play, teaming up with Corlevin. He's a big boy, Alex. His coach is asking him to play defense on that one, pleading with him to play defense on that one. No such luck. Van Gardingen tries to roll that one off speed, still tries to stay aggressive in his approach and hit through it, but takes speed off of the arm and the wrist. Unfortunately, it does find the net. Second technical timeout, and Portugal, well, they have not been in the best form, but maybe they're finding it at the right time. Santos taking a little bit of time to let his blood pressure calm down. He is almost an 8th player on the court for this Portuguese team. Marco comes in, the number 5. Miguel, the setter, comes out. Marco, an opposite player, in to add some stability to the block. Tiago Vialas. Also the other substitutions, it's just a double change for Portugal, just to keep a backcourt setter on, keep 3 attackers, keep a big block on the front court for the home team. Doesn't matter. The tip and the execution from Radink is good. The under pressure Casas, have a look at him in the left-hand side of your screen. The libero is really trying to build confidence and be the engine for his team out there. He doesn't kill the point, Casas, it's his teammate Andre that does that, but everything is stemming from the energy that the libero provides. It's quite outstanding. Radink, the set is well off the net, so Radink cannot convert, but Marco can, the substitute, gets his feet inside the ball, guides the ball down the line, and Portugal are just keeping this 2-point lead here, and the Dutch are struggling to find the floor. It's good defensive tactic work from Portugal, the 4th player just sitting in on tip cover. They knew that was coming. Second time out from the Netherlands, and Santos, who was not a happy chap throughout the group stage, will be much happier with how his team has started. Italy and Spain with pro teams. This man, well, he's been part of the Brazilian coaching system for 20 years or so with the women and the men. He's part of the Brazilian coaching team with Bernardo, which won medals in Athens and Beijing and London, and now he's trying to build this Portugal team. The last 2 World League campaigns have not been good for Portugal, but today could be their day. More joy for Portugal. Marco working alongside all the other spikers. Fabrizio, this time with the kill, beating his opposite number, Deffenbach. Is it an ace? No, it's just... It's quite close from Fabrizio, missing the sideline. Holland are let off the hook, but the moral of the story is that they need aces, they need blocks, and they need defensive plays to give themselves a chance here. They're 2 down. Casas puts the ball on point. It's not perfect, but it's in a position that's close to net. As you can see, Casas again is so fired up here. Every time he touches the ball, he's firing up the furnace for his team. It's in a good enough point Viola can just flip the ball to the opposite and he'll do the rest. Miguel comes back in, the first choice setter. Marco takes a break as well. And we're back to the starting 6 for Portugal. The crowd are cheering, trying to get a double touch out of referee Heckford, but he's not having any of it. Santos is frustrated. Portugal and Alex are still having a good old moan here at the first referee from Dorset, England. Takes no prisoners, though, the first ref. Casas this time does pass off the net. There's no chance for Mills. There's 2 in the block from the Dutch, and the spiking error follows from Hugo Gasper. Could see a timeout here from Santos. It's a couple in a row. He's toying with the idea here, is that we see that one go past the block, and he waits till the last minute. Good coaching from Santos. Loses a couple in a row, wants to sit Portugal down, get his point across, but also wants to suck the rhythm out of Holland. Teams make their way back onto court, and that man in your picture will be feeling a little bit of pressure. Finn back. Dutch team that started slowly, but they're building pressure in this very hot, humid, muggy hall. The ball's floating and doing a lot off the float serve. Alex, we've seen him score from the left. Now it's time for him to hit some winners from the right side as well. Rockets from the baseline from Portugal. That's a team playing with some confidence. Alex again. This time through the pipe. We've seen him crush angle on the opposite. Now we see him attack through the middle and ping the ball back to position 1. 3-point game. Portugal, who have struggled for wins this year, are looking hot. Now he's bringing service pressure again from the back line. It's all about Alex in this hall in Porto. Casas with an outrageous defense. And an audacious attempt from Alex with an overhead kick. Uh-oh, this could be serious. Everybody is running over to the Portuguese captain. He looks like he's done something to his back. And if there's one player, you can see here, just there, his foot jams into the advertising board, and I think the impact on his back could be costly. Alex, who has been incredible so far through this game, is now a real worry for his whole team. Coach Santos is he's taking a sip of water. I thought he was going to look at his notes and potentially make a change. So taking time to reflect. It's quite obvious that it's the lower back that's causing some issues from Alex. And there's smiles. That's a good sign. Nobody wants to see somebody go down injured, but I think Portugal realise what a key weapon he is in their armoury, and they need him to be strong for them this evening. Because without him, I don't think that Portugal would find themselves in such a commanding position. Tiamat serves into the net, and you can see the relief on the faces and the celebrations of Portugal. Martins makes his first appearance. And Marcel makes way. Serving substitution. A few nerves on the face of the service substitution as well. See if he can make an impact for this game. Good toss, and it's a big jump serve, but easy stuff. There's a net touch, I think, or no, block and then into the aerial. Hand slap from Coach Santos for the substitution. Came in, did his job, but unfortunately couldn't score from his serve. 2 points for Portugal, a side out, desperately needed. And that's another missed serve. Too many errors from Holland have cost them dearly in spiking and in serving. 3 set points for Portugal here. Some worried faces from the Dutch. The crowd are right behind this Portuguese side. Spreading the play. Nice setting, very good work from Dan van Haarlem. The play's on the left-hand side of the court, and then he just flips it back, trying to move the blockers around. See, the middle blocker is committed, one-on-one on the outside. Kiemink comes in. Kiemink also a well-renowned beach player in the Dutch system as well. See if he can make a dig. He's on to play backcourt, the number 2. The odds still stacked well and truly in Portugal's favour to win this first set. Corwin with the serve. They're a little bit off the net, but Hugo on the opposite. There was a hesitation in the decision of Heckford, but the ball hits the floor, and Portugal might have finished bottom of Group 2 in the qualification, but they have well and truly turned up this evening in Porto. Hugo, Gaspas and Alex scoring from all areas. Off the clock, off Deffenbach and out of play. The Netherlands were favourites for this one. Portugal have been experimenting, they said. They've been trying all their different players in different positions over the last few weeks. Some people believed them, some people thought they're out of form, but this evening they've taken the first set 25-22 here in Porto. So the winner will go through to play Canada tomorrow for gold. But some stats from the first set. More attacks from Portugal. More errors from the Netherlands. But the most important stat is that the score was 25 points to 22. You can count multiple service errors from the Netherlands. They're going to have to correct that if they want to try and change the course of this game. Although they're not smiling, they will be a happy, happy bench. I wouldn't be surprised to see Santos rolling around on the court in the second set, digging balls himself, the way that he's getting involved in everything. The Portuguese coach is at the centre of every play from Portugal, as we see some highlights. Alex has been the man so far, hasn't he? Serving, spiking, through the pipe on the outside, on the opposite. Holland have got to find a way to stop him. He's athletic, he's dynamic. Be interesting to see how his back issue holds up following the collision with the advertising board throughout that first set. Tiamat, as you can see on your screen, starts. Rauerdink keeps his place. Tiamat, the top scorer, just there. Also, others I can still see on the court, though my view is slightly obstructed, as Van Gardenen will start again. Defenbach will also start. Sparadens, the libero, is obviously back in as well, but he's standing on the side of the court. That might be a place for Overbeek. It's very hard to see from here. Overbeek, if he started. For Portugal, you can see Hugo Gasper. You can also see Fabrizio. Alex is back in as well. Miguel is setting, so he keeps his place, although he was substituted off. Andre is in as well for Portugal, so very similar starting sixes for both sides. Alex, the danger man, is back in the mix as well. Even though he may be injured, they can't risk taking him out of this team, surely. Defenbach is on time, commands respect when the pass is in that middleman. Again, Santos is almost on the court, just giving it everything. There's a certain passion throughout this Portuguese side that might just be enough to carry them through. Alex, with an absolute whip of an arm, rains down a bit more pain on the Netherlands. Quick high set, it is a very quick arm, beating the block of Holland. It's a beastly figure, the number 6 for Portugal, isn't he? Tiamat stopped. The ball's never getting across to his right arm. He's losing height in the air. He's only hitting angle, but there's 3 Portuguese blockers in the way. Someone's going to have to get this coach a glass of water at some point tonight. He's getting super animated and excited out there. Rare error from Alex. Again, 3 in the pass. Alex, Casas, and Andre. It's more spin serving as the temperature has cooled in this arena as the sun goes down out in Porto. Off the block of Golovin. The humidity has really dropped in the arena, which means off the float serve, the ball won't do quite as much in the pass. Players will go back to the spin serve, and that is a meaty spin serve from Alex. Casas is on fire on the backcourt, manages to pick the tip up, but second time of asking. Golovin sends down an absolute hammer onto the Taraflex floor. Tiamat with the tip. Some reactions, it took a touch off Hugo Gaspas. Nothing the Portuguese defence can do about that. Similar story for the Netherlands, who never really got out of first gear from behind the service line in the first set. Portugal, though, have... Well, I say that. And then Marcel sends one long, but they have served better. They have been more consistent than the Netherlands so far. 3 Dutch blockers in. Casas passes tight. And the ball is long. There's some unhappy customers here from Portugal who are questioning the decision, but line judge and referee both agree that was out. Bit of flair in the set from Miguel. We love that. It's tight to the net, so the setter can't get 2 hands on the ball, so they have to put 1. Get the wrist behind it to guide it in the direction that they would like the ball to go. Fives, Casas has had a lot of service pressure this evening. Interesting, isn't it? Obviously a target of the Dutch to go after the libero and put him under pressure and see what he's got. Be interesting to see what their plan B is if Casas continues passing in the way that he is. Ball at sea, way out of town, so the ball's coming. Wow! Overpass with no respect from Miguel. Suffer that, says the Portugal setter. Don't insult me. Nice reply, though, from the Netherlands. I think head coach Santos is still getting his breath back from 2 points ago. Pass is good again from Portugal. Block, it's interesting to see if this one's in or out. It's block out, so another point, and Portugal are back in charge. Two very different coaching styles if we have a look at the timeouts. Just see the body language. He's going to sleep well tonight, Coach Santos. Can Portugal pick up where they left off? Andre, who's been very consistent and reliable, hasn't scored as many as his other outside partner, but that's a good serve. And Netherlands are under pressure. Ball's hit the aerial, and it's another point for the Portuguese. Andering comes in for Van Garderen. Maybe bring a little bit more robustness to the outside, change something that maybe will score some points. Andre again with another absolute bomb from the back line. Casas again just staying low and just eating up everything that's thrown at him. And then they win the point, and look at the libero. Just living and breathing every point here, Portugal. They know this is their final. Casas, he sits low, just pops out a left hand, and the reaction is incredible. He's having a good time, the Portuguese libero. So is the Portuguese coach. It's like a kid at Christmas, Santos. It's a worried face, coach Vermaelen. Looks like he's feeling the pressure here. It's unfortunate because everything they throw at Portugal, everything that they bombard them with, attacking or serving, they're struggling. 3 in the pass. Timeout's very good because eventually Andre is sent out of rhythm and the Netherlands get off of that rotation. They're huddling in the middle of the court. They're trying to communicate over block defense, and the setter Van Haarlem is very much trying to be the driving force of that. There's a battle at the net, won by Portugal, but the dig was too easy for Holland, so second chance, well out of system here. So really, this should go to the Dutch, and they need it. Tiamat. He has been a defining factor in the Dutch success, has yet to hit full throttle here in Porto this evening. Go. Taking his time to have a rest, and Portuguese crowd are not the easiest pleased here. Casas again, he's full of confidence. Everything the libero touches is turning to gold at the moment. Thing is, he's so animated, the libero, that when things start to go wrong, it'll be interesting to see if he can make them right again. Consistency is going to be key for Casas. So we go back, and Alex on the outside, very nice. And I know that you can't see the picture, but following on from my point, Casas is still up on his feet, shouting and screaming, and Alex goes off the inside hand. It's a fascinating duel, this one. More aces, this time it's the float serve, causing drastic scenes in the Dutch camp. Spardens doesn't track it and doesn't get his platform facing the target and doesn't really get underneath that one. That's better from the Dutch libero. Credit where credit's due. And Deffenbach has got into the game. Portugal haven't stopped the Dutch through the middle, have they? Casas is back in. Dutch captain now with the ball in hand to serve. Whatever you can do, Holland, we can do better. So Portugal, and that's Marcel making his contribution. Just dumping that one into the court. 14-10, and it's the passing unit of Holland that are going to be tested again. Spardens. It's a target, not that time. The middle, 3 middle plays in a row, and Casas once again is running the show for Portugal in defense, but unfortunately Andre can't convert for the Portuguese. Anticipating everything, the man in the blue jersey. Tiamat on time, finishing well. Tiamat so far within this competition, Holland's best server. It's going to be a high toss. Quite that high. A look to the ceiling from the opposite man, and really, that sums up the Netherlands' performance so far. They haven't served with enough consistency. This man, though, has Alex with an absolute ripper. But the stinger comes through the middle with Kolovin. He has been an impressive figure this evening, Alex, in all areas of the game. Marcel jumping up and down with frustration. I think he realises he got his line wrong in the previous point. Casas again is on money with the pass. Makes everything easy for Miguel, doesn't it, when the ball is just on the money. The middle is committed, and Alex again through the pipe finds the space in the block. Portugal, many people's underdogs after finishing at the bottom of Group 2 of this World League campaign. I repeat, Santos was not happy at all on the work, the focus so far. All the preparation was for this evening. Many people questioned it, but how can you question it with the performance that his players have put in here? It's nice to see Casas making sure he's hydrated. He's used a lot of energy out there this evening. Well, after a minute or so of calm, Portugal, which have caused an absolute stir and a storm out here this evening, are back out and ready to serve. Spadens with the ball on point, one-on-one on the outside, makes it look easy as long as the setter keeps using the middle, as he has done over the past few points. Means when the pass is consistently good, you are going to be one-on-one on the outside. Head-in-hand stuff from Marcel, who feels he should have done better. But spikers are always favourite in those situations. Casas and Miguel team up. And this time it's Fabrizio that makes the kill. Smiles all round from the man in the middle. Maybe a change in tactics has to happen here, because Casas is getting served every single ball, but he's delivering for Portugal, as is that man. Defenbach. Casas has been served a lot of balls. He's found rhythm, he's found confidence. Rare error, and you can see the frustration within the coach in the bottom of your picture. He can't be too angry with his libero because he's been outstanding. I think we might have a timeout coming here from Portugal. Not finished from Fabrizio. The ball takes a hit off the inside hand and disappears out of play. It is a timeout from Portugal. Man who looks like he's carrying a fair bit of weight on his shoulders, coach from Ireland. Smiles from Portugal. But the one question that has to be posed, this Portuguese outfit, is how long can they drive this vehicle at 200 kilometers an hour? Can they stay consistent? Starts with the pass, which is a little bit better this time. Defenbach on his knees. Lights out on Portugal from the Dutch captain. This could be the start of a momentum change. Nice finish in the block from the big middle man. Inside hand and outside hand both shaping back into the court. With every point they make here, the Netherlands are going to feel the pressure move from their side of the court onto their opponents. Casas has just somehow forced the ball in. Double touch called against Van Haarlem. Exploited by the poor pass, really, the poor little bit of defense leading up to that touch. Andre, who's serving earlier on in this set, did cause so many problems for the Dutch. Chance again, Spadens with the pass, and that's a big, steep, fierce swing from Tiermat. We haven't seen him at his best here yet this evening, that's for sure. Although it's a one-point game, you feel that Holland have just got the edge here. Celebrations for Holland, who wanted that one with no touch. There is a touch, referee Nick Heckford. Philippe comes in. Fabricio comes out, serving substitution. Smart moves again from Santos, who's trying to use every single trick in the book to score points and apply pressure in every way. As soon as he serves this, the number 4, he'll be straight out for the libero Casas. It's joy to watch this Portugal side. They really do live on the edge of their seat. Every single thing, they're cheering or they're in despair if they don't make a touch. They are full throttle here, the home side. Casas again. Maybe hear the libero through your television. Defend back, can only find the net. Change again, Gasper comes back in, as does Maguire. It's just a reverse of the earlier double substitution. Violet out, as is Marco. So we're back to our starting 6 for Portugal. Spadens, the libero, Andringa, and Rauerdink in the pass. They all step up from a deep position, and Miguel misses the serve. There is a long, long way to go in this set, that's for sure. Same as before, Kiemink comes in, over Baker as well for Holland. So just a double substitution. The setter, Van Haarlem, comes out, as does Tiermat. So just a double sub. Kiemink is going to come in, serve and play position 1. Libero steps into set. It's an audacious attempt to find the outside, but he does it well. Portugal are trying to find an answer here. The middleman is well outside the aerial. They do well to keep the ball alive there, Holland. Finally, Portugal, through Marcel, find the floor. And really, in the context of this set, that's a big, big point. The difference between 21-19, 20 all at this stage, is huge. Portugal need to keep siding out. They won't be too bothered about that. Alex will be disappointed because everybody in this stadium is aware of the threat that he possesses from the back line. But as long as they keep siding out Portugal, they will take the set. They just have that little bit of a cushion. It's Holland, the Netherlands, that are doing all the chasing here. Andre, cool, calm, and very collective. Casas, the libero, not very cool, not very calm, but on very good form. pause in play will maybe benefit the Dutch a little bit more than the Portuguese. Gives the passing unit time to set up, communicate. Marcel has to play with some demons in his head behind the service line. Be interesting to see if he attacks the serve or takes a little bit of pace off. Overbaker, the southpaw, makes his contribution, his first spiking contribution. Awkward left-hander finds the gap. It's a quick play from Portugal, but shut down from Deffenbach. That could be huge. Here, Deffenbach is fired up because we are tied here. Portugal try and use the middle, potentially not the right option because it's quite low. Deffenbach has time to stalk his prey and then go and get him. 22 all. We have just had a big turning point within the context of this game. Portugal now have to find an answer. Casas is all at sea there in the pass, but somehow Miguel problem solves, finds Hugo Gaspas, and Hugo Gaspas does fire the ball away. 2 in the block, doesn't matter. Gaspas just unloads and unleashes off of it. Luckily, the experienced Gaspas is next up behind the service line as well. Struggling here, the Netherlands are out of system. They can't afford to lose this one. Spadens does well to react, turn and keep the ball in the air, but 2 blocks in a row from Portugal brings up set point. Santos knows how important that is. Felipe knows how important that is as well, the substitute, and so do the crowd. Passing issues from Holland are costing them, although that was very nice from Spadens. They're so out of system that Portugal have time to set their block up and go to town on the spiker. Happy days for Portugal. I think everyone would love to see Santos' reaction should Portugal pull this one out of the bag. How many times do we see that? A timeout, losing focus of the server and the server missing the serve that follows the timeout. Not ideal for Portugal. They had to keep the ball in play there, surely. The pressure was on the Netherlands. Now the pressure is on the passing unit of Portugal. They have set point here in Porto. They're a team not in form. They've been a team experimenting. Gaspas does get the ball in. And it's long from Andre. Everyone in Porto were up on their feet, celebrating. Relief for the head coach. They fed the ball to the outside. Van Halen was so high in defense. Andre unleashed, but he missed the back line. How many times is this one going to swing on its head? Fascinating stuff. Alex is on the back court, and I'm sure that Portugal are going to try and find Alex. Andre, the wing spiker, obviously just missed his chance, but it all depends on the pipe. If the pass is good, then Miguel can actually distribute the ball wherever he likes, and it's not a problem. But if the pass is as poor as that, he had no choice but to feed the outside hitter. Miguel is at position 4. Fabricio is his middleman. Andre is again on the outside. Hugo Gaspas is going to hit through the 10 at position 1. And Alex, the danger man, is going to be going through position 6. What have they got here, Portugal? They need to find an answer. Fabrizio is dug by Spartans. Chance to completely turn this one on its head. But it's long from Rauwerdink. Opportunity wasted from the Netherlands. That was their chance. Alex just dodges a bullet and gets away with it. On another day, that could have hit him in the shoulder. Another set point for the Portuguese. Andre now with the jump set. Better passing from Holland, but the set is well off the net and the spike is in too early. They're out of sync. Not taken advantage of from Portugal. It should go to Holland, this. But another spiking error on the outside. This time from Tiamat, agonising from the Netherlands. Portugal don't need to earn that victory. Errors are compounded by the Netherlands. Frustration from the team in orange. Yes, they made some defences, but this from the Netherlands should be dealt with. But it's Portugal that lead 2-0. Santos. I think I could pay to watch him all day long. (51-46) isn't the true score. Second set was won 26-24 by the Portuguese. Just to bring this into context, Portugal finished bottom of their group, but now they are beating the Dutch here on home turf. So, Portugal, the team that only won 2 games in qualification, the team that have struggled in the World League the past 2 years, have won the first 2 sets here against the Netherlands. That one went to overtime, 26-24, but they're strong in attack, and they are making the most of every single point, playing with heart and desire. And they are proving to be a very tough nut to crack here. Portugal have lost the last 7 games on home soil. Santos in his second stint as coach of Portugal. The first one ended in 2006, started again last season, and it looks like this experimental campaign that everyone has been speaking about is paying off. Some smiles from the Netherlands, but I don't know if that's a true reflection of their feelings right now. Alex, the top scorer thus far for Portugal. Tiamat, the top scorer for the Netherlands. Tiamat only scoring 7 from 16. Alex scoring 12 from 15. That is some ratio. The Portuguese wing spiker to score 12 from 15. And they've utilised him on the back court, out at 4 and at 2 as well. Has this game got a bit more sting to it? Another twist in the tail? Or a Portugal going to make everyone raise their eyebrow here? Because I don't think, although everybody knew that this was experimental and they were building towards this Final Four game, sometimes it's really hard to remove method from fact. And fact is that they've lost a large majority of games, but the method was there from the coach that he's always building towards this evening here in Porto. And who can disagree with him with this start. Miguel can't find the middle, he goes to the outside. It's too tight, really, so there's 2 in the block from Holland. It's tight again, 3 in the block this time, but Alex. I think the Netherlands need to try and put a leash on him. To be fair, in the mood that he's in, he'd probably tear it off anyway. Fabricio. You see these float serves get closer and closer to the top of the net band. The closer you serve to the top of the net band, the less amount of time that you have to move your feet and try and pass the ball. Good passing from Portugal. They're back in system. Hugo Gaspas plucked from Spartans, but not good enough. Gaspas and Alex give this team physicality on both sides of the net. Alex at 4, Gaspas, whether he's front court or back court, is irrelevant. He gives them an outlet on both sides, and Andre just brings a little bit of consistency in between them. They're just operating the engine room very well. Without Gaspas playing so well at position 2, Alex would not have the same impact at position 4. It takes 2 to tango, really. If it's a one-man show, then the opposition really do know that, and they can plan their defense around it. Good blocking from Deffenbach. I think Casas needs to go to the petrol station and fill up with some more gas. He's gone a little bit quiet, the libero. That's the problem if you always travel at 300 miles an hour. The gas runs out the tank very quickly. 2 in the block. Good cover from the libero. This time, Holland with a couple of blocks in quick succession. It's not going to take much to start pushing this Portuguese side. A couple of blocks, and all of a sudden, confidence will start to go. Heads will go down, and Holland will really fancy their chances of progressing again. Uh-oh. Oh, it's so sloppy. Portugal put a ribbon on it. So there you go, Holland, take a point. Holland decided to give it straight back to Portugal. It's not the end of the world from Alex, but somebody who serves as potent as the Portuguese number 6, you can't afford him to miss too many serves because it affects the whole rhythm and momentum of the team. You need your main men to stand up from the service line, because if they serve 2 or 3 in a row, your team are laughing and you're away. Better, they're still siding out, so they won't be too bothered. Marcel with this 2 missed serves in a row from Portugal, and that's, you can see by the reaction. Head down, body language is poor, frustration oozing out of Marcel as he drops off of court. Really, they've not got a lot to be upset about, Portugal, so I don't understand it. Hugo Gaspas is looking for a net touch. The call is out. Initially, I thought that might have taken a touch off the block from Andringa. No, he hits high. I think he was looking for the hands of Kolovin. As you can see, it's a completely different Portugal team already, and I just... Another gift from Portugal. I just don't understand how a game like this can just flip on its head. A team that was full of energy, full of power and confidence and motivation. they've just had the wind taken out of their sails here by the Netherlands. But really, they've got nothing to worry about. There's no need to panic here. There's a man in your picture. You know exactly what mood he's in by looking at his face. Picture tells you 1,000 words, all written on the face of Coach Santos. Whenever he's up, but whenever he's down, and I think it's interesting to see how that mood reflects in his players as well, who will take some sort of message from their coach. Again, when Portugal, we said this about Casas in the previous set, but it reflects on the whole team. Whenever they're all flying and everything's fine, it's phenomenal. But then as soon as something goes wrong, it's just like a rabbit hole that they're struggling to get themselves out of. More rockets from the baseline. There you go, Andre does find a point for his team. And Alex on the backcourt, let's not beat around the bush, that is a hindrance for Portugal, but it's the whole body language and the demeanour of this team has changed. The team that wouldn't be quiet in the first two sets are almost behaving like they're in a library. More joy for Holland through the middle, and they'll be happy with this start. That's not... Spaden's looking like a libero, more confidence, tracking the ball well, getting his platform on it, sending it to its target. It's good from the libero. It's funny how a team plays when the pressure starts to ease off. Casas passing off the net. There is no middle with Frederico, but there is two in the block. The poor, not poor passing, but the out of place passing meant Portugal out of system off the net. Allows two blockers to the outside, and even this time the outside man Marco is out of system. Not only have they affected Andre, they've also affected the substitute as well, and this game definitely has at least 4 sets written over this one. It's a robust start from this team, but the Dutch have turned up again and summoned Portugal to up their game once again. Errors creeping in here. Missed it. There was a throw of a water bottle just in front of me, just demonstrating even the frustration on the bench here. Andre. Casas is at 5, playing defense. Vialas, the substitution second setter, is at position 1. More joy for Holland, easy pickings utilising the opposite. They're in system, the pressure's off. Tiamat can really fire up and send the ball home. Spaden's getting a lot of ball here, but he's equal to everything that Portugal are throwing at him. And again, Casas, he's falling backwards. He's not putting anything into the ball, much to the frustration of Coach Santos, who is now a total different customer than what we've seen in the previous 2 sets. He's not still happy, is he? Get over Marlon, but he must be happier than he was 10 minutes ago. Holland will be happy. They've sucked the momentum out of Portugal, but also the fans as well. Another error, Tiamat this time firing long. Marcel is coming back in for Portugal. Casas, the libero, takes a quick breath before he comes back into the next rotation. Marco on the front court. Wireless really trying to orchestrate something, trying to keep his troops going out there. Alex is on the front court, and that's going to be key. The substitution, the opposite. Marco is at 2. Hugo Gaspas is obviously off the court as well as Miguel. Good, more siding out from Holland. Routine stuff this is turning into. Looks like they're going to ease their way to the technical timeout here at 16. Deffenbach takes Marcel in the block. Just starting to make it look very easy and very simple. Casas now is getting every ball. This is exactly why Holland have gone after him from the start. Maybe the message here from Guido Vermaelen is to keep peppering at the libero, and eventually he'll crumble. Eventually, if you keep going after him, you will score from the Portuguese defensive specialist. It's working at the moment, isn't it? Casas, who was a man in fine form, is now struggling. Guido, who has played a lot of games recently. Looks like he might be coming in. And really, the passion showing here from Santos is incredible, but one would have to question the journey that he takes his players on. When everything's going well, it's a party and everybody's loving it, but when everything is going bad, who's going to pull the lorry over the line? And that's got to be the question here for Portugal. The coach looks dejected, the players look dejected even. Fidalgo is back on court and Casas has to sit and take a rest. Not bad from the libero with his touch, and it leads to a side out. Not quite as loud as the other libero. He might go about his business in a little bit more of a subtle fashion. Gaspas and Miguel come back in. Viadas and Marco disappear for the time being. Really come back in from Miguel. He's had a long time out, and pile on the pressure with that serve is impressive. Good use of the tip from the Portuguese middle. Got respect from that for Marcel, because when the ball's not in the right spot, some would just try and feast on it anyway and try and hit it. Miguel just uses it, goes deep to 5, knows 9 times out of 10 you're at least going to apply some pressure through that avenue. Does so well, and Miguel, again, good job from him being sat on the sidelines to remain focused enough to come on. Curse of the commentator as the backup serve is served halfway up the net. Marcel might be the man to get this Portuguese team going again. Some setting from Miguel, who's made an impact straight away since he's come back in. Not only has he served well, but he also, that's a tough set to set that ball from down at hip level. Way out of town here, the Netherlands can only volley the ball, but they do pick out Miguel, which is good. Fidelgo sets, but it's too low for Andre to operate anything there. That's not too low. Tiamat sends a weapon of mass destruction over to the Portuguese. No stopping that. Maybe this set is already away from Portugal. Maybe the only thing they can do is try and get back to the heights of the previous two sets to build confidence again. Fidelgo with a beautiful pass, but Tiamat not only kills the ball in offense, but lines up on the block delightfully well. And corrupts Andre's spiking ability. Time to sit down, Portugal. Intriguing stuff here in Porto. Portugal suffering from volleyballing bipolar. Up and down. If you were to see the mood here of the Portuguese outfit, their performance is really reflecting it. What you see in the mood is when it's up, it's good and everything's easy, but as soon as it starts going, it's a time when you really have to force that positivity amongst you to grind it out. Alex again has just been phenomenal so far. Change, Joao is in, Alex takes a breather. That could be a little bit of a masterstroke from Santos, because Alex is the main influence here in the Portuguese side, and if he has a break now, looking like it's going to a fourth set, might be enough to give his team an extra 10% in the fourth. Good passing. Sloppy Mandringa, though, who's made quite a few errors this evening, the outside man. Marcel just serving straight down the middle of the court. Maybe frowned upon by many coaches, but depends on your tactics. This time it is a better serve, more to the sideline on the front court receiver. It is Andriga again. This time he picks up some rhythm from his pass, converts the ball in offense very nicely. Better from the number 18. Quite a lot of spikers prefer hitting when they've passed the ball. They feel that they get into the game and they can build rhythm in their approach and timing. Rodriguez showed that. Uh-oh. Initially there was a bit of a worry with the overpass, but Miguel takes it thoroughly into his stride, and his blooming relationship with Hugo Gasper just keeps on improving. More points. Portugal. Question is, can the Dutch continue this form for another 2 sets? Sparden's getting caught with his hands up. Corlevin this time on time, high, quick. Just keeps Netherlands getting closer to taking this to a fourth. Doesn't look like he's going to dig every ball now, does it, Santos on the side? Oh, haven't seen that from Miguel. Not much deception there, he just flings it. It's also not the highest either, but two hands, disguised well enough to win the point. More middle work. A team that plays with confidence are a team that keeps feeding the middle. Setter that's running the game knows the importance of keeping the middle alive and alert, and the consequence that has on the rest of the game. Relentless so far in this one from the Netherlands. Santos still trying to replicate every move that his team makes. Good passing. That's good defending from Federico, the middleman. Not good enough to win the point. Marcel, hands are low, he's late on that block. Never going to be able to get up at full height, get in the face of the attacker and finish his hands. Fidelgo, who has made a little bit of a difference since he's come on. Oh, huge! The Netherlands, that tells a story of this entire set. Deffenbach does show Marcel how to finish on the block. Inside hand and outside hand, both firm and finished. And we are going to a fourth for sure here. Fidelgo does put the ball in. Andre closed out, but the ball is the wrong side of the sideline. And Portugal live to see another point. Side out will do it. They've used the middle well here, the Dutch. They really are starting to light things up. Opposite, well out of system though, so Miguel can spread the ball about. He uses Andre on the pipe. Alex is off the court as well at the moment, remember, probably resting. Touch off the block, no touch off the block. They're looking for it, Portugal, but there is no touch. Holland send this to a fourth. Deffenbach, the leader, really, if we'd have seen him in the previous, at the end of the previous set within the timeout, still firing up the furnace, being relaxed. He's made a big impact throughout this game, hasn't he? This has been a game of two halves almost. The Portuguese came out on flames, they're on fire. But within that time, it's taken them a couple of sets. The Dutch have managed to put that fire out. Some highlights from the third set. Portugal lead 2-1 here, but the Netherlands very much have the momentum, very much have everything leading into the fourth set. Service pressure was key. The Netherlands did up that within that last game. 6 blocks from the Netherlands. That's a huge stat. Portugal failing to even get one. That's also a compliment for the Netherlands to the service pressure, their ability to get their opponents out of system, meaning that they can line up more blocks on the wings especially. They're almost like father and son here, Santos and Casas. Much calmer. And you could argue maybe a much more focused Dutch side of the net. Fine, it looks like Holland are focused on their individual roles and responsibilities, what they have to really provide themselves within this set, where Portugal are trying to fire each other up to get a reaction. That man, Vermaelen, looked very stressed in the opening two sets, and it does look like he's taken it. Well, he's relaxed a little bit less stress, pressure. Maybe his game plan has started to work. It just maybe took 2 or 3 sets. Casas the libero is back in. Hugo Gaspas is in your picture. Marcel is going out because the libero's obviously come in. The libero is now running around like he's in a playground at lunchtime, just burning off more energy. Fabricio, Andre, Alex is back in as well. Miguel, the setter, you can see there, number 15 in your picture. For the Dutch, you have Spadens. You've got the same team, Deffen back. Van Haarlem, the setter. Number 16, Tiamat. It's like the same again. Oh, nice, fast play, good tempo. That's the team that's starting to play with a little bit more swag, a little bit more inspiration through Van Garderen. Body language is going to be huge for Portugal here. They have to force some positivity. They have to, when things like communication and positivity aren't there, you have to force it from somewhere. That might start things off. Their start is going to be instrumental here for Portugal. If they can start well, gain confidence, raise the body language, communication, they're going to be a tough team to get past. 3 in the block, and somehow Portugal did manage to get past it. Very nice, Alex on the outside. Interesting from Casas, could potentially be a little bit more aggressive with that pass on the free ball to get his setter on the net, but maybe lacking a little bit of confidence because of the previous set. Alex doesn't matter, he will make you points from a nothing situation anyway. Oh, what a set that is. It somehow gets on there, it's a bit too tight. My mistake. Initially, I thought that was going to be a world-class set from Gaspas, but it's too close, and Holland do clamp it. Deffenbach, the captain of Holland, has been very, very steady throughout this whole game. He's focused already. Look at his head, nice and still, he's low. But Federico, those points right there, the big, physical, fast plays that this Portuguese team can create. It's a little bit of a wider set, and then he snaps it back past the blocker. That's going to be the game changer here for this team. The pass is good, so they can side out. The pass isn't good from Holland this time. They're throwing the block again. Oh, tomahawk defense, overhand from Andre at 6. Net touch called against Portugal. Marcel flirting with the net, I think, on the way down. Yeah, just his right forearm contacting the top of the net band. Punchy serve. Oh. Sloppy stuff from both sides. Miguel just flings it out to 4 and completely oversets everything. His feet potentially not moving quick enough to get round the ball and send it to the antenna. But the Dutch were fast asleep. It's not game-changing, it's not set-defining, but all these little things in sport do add up. Again, more sloppiness. It's 2 sloppy plays in a row. Holland, in their position, cannot afford to make sloppy mistakes, especially back-to-back. They get themselves out of jail through Tiamat's blocking. This game has been so exciting. Full throttle. But come on, boys, keep the standard high. Standard doesn't matter to Tiamat as long as he gets the win by the looks at it. Lucky to get away with that, the Dutch. So receiver gonna have to put their crash helmets on if they keep coming at that speed. Casas. Block going out. Can Alex and Gaspas get back to the early form of this evening? Or are the Dutch just gonna keep pulling at their opposition jerseys? It's a team effort from the Dutch so far. Got the biggest block out there at 4 with Andriga. I think they know that, the Portuguese, and they try and utilise it as much as they can. Have setters that look for mismatches in the block where they feel that they're more physical than their opponents. Try and use that advantage. Nice passing from Andriga, that's why he's in, his reception is good. Oh, face shot on Miguel. Not very nice, taking one to the face. My mistake, is a little bit lower, almost in the face. Just got caught back, and so to really try and block the ball off in defence, stop it getting past you. That one straight at the body, it's difficult to create that interception with your arms or any part of your body, really. Casas again, just shooting off his arms into the setter's hands. Andre, what a dig! Van Garderen. Now Van Garderen tries to set it, but he doesn't. The 6-man does instead. This rally is well overdue. Tiamat only crunches one into the antenna. The good work from Van Garderen is undone. Look at that. Somehow just gets his shoulders forward is the key here. Shoulders forward, gets something underneath the ball to scoop it. Tiamat going hell for leather through that one. Oh, nice from Van Garderen. Team's tied at 7. We're 1 away from the technical timeout. Not really anything too big. It's not so important who goes into the technical timeout in front. But small margins, it might just give a team a kick and a little bit of a confidence boost if they can go into the timeout even just 1 point in front. Portugal are the team that lead the technical timeout through that man, Andre. been slightly untidy from the Netherlands so far in this set. Something that they cannot afford to be. They're the team looking at being eliminated here, and they just started to build something. They can't afford to let that confidence, or really the concentration, drop. They're a charismatic lot, the Portuguese team. And when they're up, they are up. So it's very important for the Dutch here that when they get them on a downer, that they repeatedly keep pushing them, bullying them, not giving them any way out. But their sloppy errors are creating opportunities for the Portuguese to get their way back into this one and stamp their authority back again. Andre with a hammer. Nice. From Tiamat. Nothing sloppy about that one. Good use from Alex. Again, once again, proving what a good player he is. The ball was not in the right spot there, so he couldn't hit it, but he did use it as well as he could. And that from Gaspas is excellent. Again, Alex, Gaspas working together on either wing to make life very difficult for Holland. Overloading the play to the right side of the court. Fabricio goes to take the middle blocker with him. Gaspas outrunning the block of the number 6. Deffenbach. Gaspas is a key cog at the minute for this performance. Federico is looking for the ace. Referee is saying no way. Point to the Netherlands. Again, Santos is pondering and seeing what his next move is going to be in this one. There is a long way to go to see who is going to fight it out tomorrow with Canada for gold. Alex is pretty good with the pass. Fortunately, everyone knew that that ball was going to Gaspas. 2 in the block. Easy pickings for Van Garderen and co. And when the ball is off the net, it's only a matter of a few feet. It's the difference. If the ball is on the net and it's a good height, the middle has to hold with the middle spiker, like here. So it makes them later to get the block on the outside, and it's just very simple stuff, but it's such a game of inches here. It's the difference between making life easy for your spikers and making life difficult. That was a much easier spike for Gaspas because he didn't have 2 people in the block trying to shut him down. Nice reply. Van Garderen is really coming to this party. Blocking, defense, and also at the net with his spike, and that's a very nice angle from the number 3. 3 in the block for the Dutch. Van Garderen is one of those. Front court setter in Daan van Haarlem. More stingers from the baseline. Serve that stings your arms when you pass it. The beastly figure of Alex has turned to send a few rockets over to the Netherlands. Serving and passing will be key within the mid stages of this set. Potentially the toss of Alex there, ball getting caught on his left side, losing height in the air. Huge from Gaspas. They're celebrating like they've won the point. The point has been given against them. Potentially some gamesmanship here. Referees often talk about teams who lose the point but actually celebrate to try and sneak something off of the official. Nick Hetford is an experienced customer, and Dringa shuts that one straight out, takes a touch. Timeout for Portugal. Hugo Gasper proving to be a little bit more inconsistent here as we join the Netherlands timeout. The fascinating facts of psychology, body language, and how sport can just turn in just a moment. And if you've watched the whole of this game and you've seen the Portuguese fired up and living and dying at every single point, and now you watch the difference. Better. But it's still not as natural as it was earlier. The flow in their game, and their bark really does affect their bites. Here, the more they bark, the more they bite. They've lost that extra 10% that they had over the Netherlands early on. The Netherlands are just growing and growing and growing. Nice setting, good link between the setter and the middle, but that's a fair reflection on the pass, as we were speaking about serving and passing being so important throughout this game. Being able to stay in system yourself, force the opposition out of system. Gasper. Reactions from Van Gardingen, once again, very good. His defense has been influential this evening, that's for sure. Some deflections, a little bit of pinball going on again. And that is a meaty block from Fabrizio, and Gasper had to take a second look to see where that came from. It's definitely the jewel of... Well, there's a Tiamat does well to keep that alive, but there's two in there. It was Fabrizio that does rain down a little bit of pain against the Netherlands. We're back to one here. This is such a key part of this game, so important. Van Haarlem throws that on two, just dictates it. Says to Portugal, here, you have it, do something with it. Portugal have no answer. Biggest point of the game so far, this whole stage, not this point itself, but this period of the game. Net touch. The Portuguese crowd are deflated. Technical timeout. The Netherlands look like they're going to take this to a fifth, unless Portugal can dig and dig and dig and try and find something to hang on to. This game has been fascinating if you're a neutral. It's been edge of the seat stuff if you're a fan of Portugal or of the Netherlands. How many more twists are coming our way? Casper, that's a better pass. maybe we're just going to see the setters just play the ball on 2 for the rest of the evening. Good stuff from Miguel. There is a change. Double substitution. Gasper, Marco are out. Sorry, Gasper and Miguel are out. Marco is well and truly in, my mistake. As is Viola, the reserve setter, the second setter. Good passing from the Netherlands. Deffenbach has been just consistent, not done anything too special, but also certainly not let his team down throughout this Final Four matchup. Arms are together far too early, swinging all over the place, that from Casas. Deffenbach, they're just going to feed him, aren't they? When the ball is in, they're just going to use him. They know their captain is a man to be reckoned with when he's in this form. Casas and Portugal are just all at sea here. Look at the frustration, trying to kick the ball, trying to take his frustration out on the situation. Fact is, there's a timeout from Portugal, and not only this set, but potentially this whole match, after such a positive start, is running away from them. What have they got in the locker? Did they, as we spoke about earlier, go at 200 kilometers an hour for so long that they run out of gas? It's looking that way. Harlem is just up on the tip, defending very high, stopping Alex. And then they're transitioning here, Holland. And this is ruthless, it's relentless. Somehow Portugal need to weather this storm. I don't know how they're going to do it. No idea how they're going to get their way back into this one. Van Gardingen and co have just got better and better and better. Casas is struggling, that one's too tight. And you've just thrown Marco underneath a bus. When it's that tight, lights out. Yellow card, potentially coming here. Not quite sure who for. It's for someone on the Portugal side. Quite difficult. I was quite late on seeing that one. Potentially for a time delay. They were looking for a timeout, but it wasn't allowed. Apologies for being able to see that one. Better from Casas. Now he's not underneath the bus, Marco, and he can just, it's quite a relaxed, smooth arm of number 5. He can just press the destruct button and put the ball away. Richo is out. Specialist server. Philippe is in. Out of system, out of town. Again, it's untidy, isn't it? There's just this, every now and again, just gets a little bit untidy and unstable, and Portugal need to capitalise, because really if Philippe can score 3 or 4 here, they're right back in the game, and that's struggles. There's no way that Deffenbach should be passing that. All of a sudden the crowd are awake. Portugal have got a quick boost of momentum, energy and confidence, and Netherlands have had to call a timeout. All of a sudden this game turns another corner and we're going down a complete different street. Santos, inspirational substitute. Now he's having a little jig in his timeout, showing his team how to play defense. Philippe, how will the timeout affect his mental focus as he comes back to serve at a time in this set that potentially no one thought that we'd have? Although they're still behind, the confidence is flowing, the float serve is good, and Holland is still not in a good place with their pass, but they get away with it. There's a touch of the block. Really miserable serve to pass that, isn't it? It's really flat and it's just moving in this muggy stadium that we're in. Portugal's now time to have a horrific time with the pass, and there is a spiking error. So good timeout from Vermael in this. From 17-20, and a little bit of a chance for Portugal. That chance has just been taken away from them very quickly. They've been told to sit down, and Marco does come good again. Viola trying to get back onto the court. Looks like Santos is trying to get onto the court as well. Andre on the back court. Alex on the front as well, who has been silenced by the Netherlands. Let's not get that wrong. But that's better. No eruption from Santos, but the reaction from Portugal was one of relief. And it was a sense of something getting better, and it might not be enough for this set, but what it might do is give them belief in the final tiebreak. Interesting period of this game. More service pressure from Miguel, more errors from the Dutch. We've seen passing errors, and now we see spiking errors. Hands up from Van Halen. Van Garderen was the man who fires wide, and it's another timeout from the Netherlands. They're still looking calm here, still looking focused. Portugal again, they win a couple of points, lose a couple of points. They go on runs, they lose runs, and really they have to tighten their grip here. They have to do something. They can't afford to put all this pressure on from the service line and then pass poorly. That's unacceptable at this time. Everything has to come together for this Portuguese team. Spartans, a completely different libero to Cass on the other side of the net. Spartans hardly really showing any emotion, staying relaxed and focused. Casas clapping with the crowd, probably singing with them as well. A little bit of luck for Netherlands off the net band. Gasper at a big time has just awoken everybody up in here. That's a substantial block at a huge time. Gasper steps up when he needs to. Portugal get their hands together and they start backing their team again. A crowd that have been quiet are awake. Holland now are under pressure. Can they find an answer? No, Gasper again! 2 in a row from the Portuguese opposite. Bring the team in red right back into this one. They were dead and buried in this set. They're building and building and building. Gasper with 2 big plays in a row. Miguel firing it up from the back line as well. There he is, Santos is back alive. this game has had everything here this evening. Miguel again. 4 in a row for Portugal. Can he deliver another crushing blow for his opponents? Pass is still off the net, so there's 2 in the block again. The tip is good, but there's a net touch against somebody. They're pleading. Marcel is going crazy here. Alex is not happy either. He's whinging. Portugal are sure that they're innocent here. Someone has touched the net for sure. Marcel, it definitely wasn't. Alex is saying that it wasn't him, but it was his jersey that hit the net. Maybe he didn't feel it, but at the same time, Portugal have to be very careful here. They're so emotional, everything is so emotional. Santos is calling for calm, probably the right message to be sending to his players, because everything is getting out of hand, and really the only team who potentially might suffer from this is Portugal.
And then you came into the net on the way down.
And he's completely right here, Heckford.
I know. You mustn't.
He didn't feel it, but the replay footage backs up the decision from Nick Heckford, the first referee, and that's a very good call. He stayed firm. That's a great decision from the first referee. The crowd don't think so, but the replay was fully justified. Alex is fired up as well. 23-all. Both teams are well and truly in a war here. Maybe that decision goes the way of the Netherlands, but it's really Portugal who get fired up from that decision, and it works. That's an absolute rocket from Alex. It goes to the outside. They got 3 in the block here. Alex is on the defense. Everyone on the Portuguese substitute bench is up on their feet. They're looking for a touch here, and now they're going again. The decision has been reversed. There is a touch off the block. Heckford, the referee, has looked to his line judge and his second referee, and there's chaos here as we see the replay. Can't see a deflection off the fingertips for sure. This could be a better view if the ball does come into the screen. Doesn't look like there is a touch. So close. Holland now, it's their turn to go at the referee.
You go away. Okay.
Heckford is now putting his foot down the referee.
Or both sides. Yeah, both sides.
The captain of Portugal is just stirring.
Both sides.
He's just in the battle, trying to stir things up for the referee and for Holland as well. He's already been booked.
Okay, you are not allowed. I can make the decisions. I have a line judge. They make a decision. You're not allowed to come and point out what's going on, okay? Number 11 is not allowed to shout at me in the way he did. He told and he swore at me. So you are both going to get a red card.
Why? They pass for this side.
Come here.
Coach.
Shush. Quiet. You are at the same place. Okay. Red card, service. Wait.
This is unbelievable here. Heckford has stamped down his authority, suggesting that both teams' behaviour was unacceptable.
Number 11. Okay.
Just 1 second. The only thing I speak for the 2 coaches, they pass for this side.
Point for the Netherlands.
Enough now, let me.
A red card signals a point for them.
Number 11.
But also, as we're aware, there's another one coming.
Yes. Number 11.
Accused of swearing at the referee. The captain is the only player allowed to talk to the referee on court. We heard the whole conversation there. The referee not happy with both teams. Emotions are really high here in Porto. I've never seen anything like that. So, nothing changes. They're talking about rotations. Do they go round? Match point for Portugal. if there was a radar, this would be well and truly off the radar by 1,000 miles. 2 red cards in the closing stages of what has been a thrilling encounter, and I don't think the drama has finished at all here. Marcel is serving for the game. Holland is still a little bit frustrated with what happens here. They feel that the original decision should have gone their way. It didn't, it's regardless, but the reaction was what was the problem. The reaction from Holland has cost them another point. Also, the Portuguese trying to influence the referee's decision has also earned them a red card as well. Basically, both teams are on the naughty step. They've both been punished, but it's Portugal that are serving for the match here. Unbelievable scenes here in Porto. Marcel, they might want to get this done as early as they can, Portugal. Holland are going to be well and truly motivated, and they do get the middle in. Just sometimes takes a decision to go against you to really get the best out of your team, to get the extra 10%. We are in overtime. The stats man in the background has his head in his hands. Holland. Casas puts the ball in. Some cover that from Andre does the rest. Persistence and discipline in cover. Marco with the cover. Andre gives Portugal a second match point. Number 11 again. Overbaker, the left-hander. He has been at the middle of everything. Accused of swearing at the ref, then only hitting the block. This time, he does make the kill, and the celebrations reflect the pressure that has just been lifted off of his shoulders. Change again, Van Harlem, and Tiamat comes straight back in. Overbaker has a chance to just relax and calm down because it's all getting a little bit too much. Kiemink is also out of the game for the time being as well. Delayed substitution as well. Fabrizio makes his entrance once again. Philippe makes his way out. What else can we see in this game? It has been remarkable. Pressure in a nutshell. Van Harlem is feeling the pressure, and he misses by an absolute mile. Third match point for Portugal. They have to take their opportunities here. Andre, topspin jumps over, he's going to toss this one, he's going to see the peak of the ball and try and serve with pace and aggression to put Holland under pressure. Does so, but the pass is good, so they're in system. They should convert this, and they do. Very good from the Dutch to stay composed and track the ball in the pass. Edge of the seat stuff. Tiamat, the go-to man, leading point scorer of this World League, does it again. Casas puts the ball on point. So close. Fourth match point for Portugal. Deffenbach is all over that in the block, but he doesn't get the angle in his hands to force the ball back to where he needs to. Goes the wrong side of the sideline for Holland again. Federici, he's just made a point for Portugal. Now he has his chance to put Portugal through to the final. Tickles the netband. Chance on the outside again. There's a chance for a swing. It goes to Gasper. Off the block, but there's a dig. Calm before the storm here. Second chance. Gasper again. They're going for safety. And they smuggle it through, but again, it's ping-pong in there. Third time lucky. Portugal qualify for the gold medal match and make history on home soil. 7 games in a row they've lost here in Portugal. The 8th time they're lucky, and they qualify for the World League Group 2 gold medal match tomorrow against Canada. What a game, what a finale. And that is the calmest that we have seen the coach Santos all evening. They've shown heart and desire, and they have their backs against the wall for long periods of that fourth set. Gaspers was the man that they went to under pressure. Casas struggled throughout the third, but he got it back. He got form and rhythm back in the fourth set. They kept feeding Gasper, and eventually it paid off. Huge celebrations from Portugal. A huge decision earlier on with the touch off the block from referee Nick Heckford. We had red cards, we had overtime, we had bookings and everything. What a game. Santos is a very, very happy coach. We're going to head down for some courtside interview very, very quickly. It's going to be intriguing to have some reaction from what is a very joyous Portuguese camp. Alex, congratulations. How are you feeling? Sum up what was an unbelievable game.
Yeah, it was an amazing game. Always when we play against Holland, it's difficult games. Almost we go like 5 sets. It's almost 3-2 games. And today it's an incredible game. And our part, we are very good on service, reception, everything. Our block was very good. We were studying all week. We make video and everything for arrive and make some decisions in the end of the set. And I think this was a big difference for us. And of course we are in the final. It's amazing for us. It's the first time, I think. So we are happy, very happy.
It's been a struggle through qualifications for results, but Canada tomorrow, do you think you can take them?
Of course, I would say finals is for win, huh? And because they have a strong team there, they go Olympic games. It's the only team in this group they go Olympic games, so they are strong and they have a lot of players. We go for play and for win, of course.
Congratulations, it was great to watch and good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
What a game that was. It's Portugal that seal their qualification to the final tomorrow against Canada. Some big plays at big times from both teams, some big decisions, red cards. We had just about everything here in Porto. And that was how Holland's fate was sealed, and the qualification of Portugal was confirmed. The whole stadium just coming down from what was an unbelievable high here this evening. Well, you'll have to come back tomorrow to see the final. It's going to be Canada against Portugal here from Porto, but from us from now, it's goodbye.